Doing the spiritual work. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. Doing the spiritual work. And what does that mean? Spiritual. What are we going to do? Get some tri-field meters and see if we can see ghosts, some spirits? Okay, we're going to drink some spirits, drink some alcohol, some spirits. Doing the spiritual work can mean many things. And of course, the spiritual work, well, is to be able to let you see that there's many dimensions in this world. The spiritual mind. Wow. There's a mental mind. Yeah, there's a lot of mental minds, that's for sure. And you can call the emotional mind. Whatever you feel is what your mind thinks, right? Okay, and you've got all these different areas that you can say, called chakras. You can say that each one of those are a mind of its own. Even the one between your legs. Doesn't it have a mind of its own? Sometimes. Okay? So, anyways, are you doing the spiritual work? Or just doing the spiritual work? Some of the spiritual work is just, it's just being able to go out in nature and look at the genius within, all things that cannot be explained. Okay? And of course, if you go to the city, you can marvel at that genius too. But it's not like nature, because everything in nature cannot be explained. Everything in the city can be explained. It's the artificial interface, right? Somebody made it, so it can be explained. Somebody designed it, so it can be explained. But in nature, no one really can build the way nature does. Remember, order out of chaos. Sort of what they do to us, okay, as the so-called Earth humans. We are controlled under order and chaos. You must stay in order, right? And or be fear of the chaos. So we all need a protector, we need some provisions, and we need to either be a provider for ourselves or find a provider to help us. The 3 P's of life. Protection. Okay? Everybody needs protection. Everybody wants protection. Everyone wants to feel protection. Protection, provisions. We all need to eat. We all need clothes. We all need provisions. Okay? In every form and fashion. And, again, provider. The provider is one that actually is another form of a place that basically, we don't really do. We have to have something to do to be a provider. And that's a deep one too, to be a provider. Without getting too deep, because are you doing the spiritual work or the spiritual work? But the materialistic world needs provisions, it needs protection, and it needs a provider. And the spiritual world is a total different world. The spiritual world is a formless world. Okay? And the world that we know so well is the world of form. And again, provisions, provider, protection, all these things that we need on this place, this plane. So the spiritual mind needs to be able to look into, or has the ability to look into, other planes of existence. Slow your breath down and watch it breathe. You're not breathing again. Remember, we've talked about this many times. You're not breathing, it breathes. Not only you, but it breathes all of us. Whales, snails, birds, bees, all of it at the same time. Whether you like it or not, right? It's spiritualism. We don't know what it is, but it's some spiritual thing, some spirit that's doing it. Remember, you can have a lot of different spiritual understandings. You can read Eckhart Tolle's book and get maybe a power of spirituality. You can start doing maybe yoga and start to activate what they say is the spiritual mind, just to unwind yourself, maybe to start to feel yourself again through the practice of union or yoga. So the spiritual mind also can be dabbled into with plants, because there are plants here called entheogens that can help people see this realm, to see this place that cannot be explained. You must see it for yourself, just like in the Matrix. Okay, are you doing the spiritual work? Are you following the rules, okay, of natural law? Are you following the rules of the system? Remember, that's man's law. But spiritual law is it right for you to do? Weigh and measure that idea. Is it right for you to do? What happens if I put myself in that position? Would I do that to me? Or would I want to have that done for me? So, guys, it's all part of it. All you got to do is figure it out. Okay? Figure it out. What do? Well, you try to go ahead and, balance yourself between the spiritual mind, the mind of things that cannot be explained, and of course the physical mind, the physical self, which of course is the world of form. And I know this sounds like a lot of hocus pocus, but then again, are you doing the spiritual work? Remember, the spiritual work looks into itself. It looks into everything that actually is a miracle, even though they're happening every second of every day. A lot of us don't realize these spiritual truths. These truths are not learned, they're felt. Okay, remember, look at just a simple insect. Just look at anything and look at the beauty of this creational, intelligent design. Okay? Is it spiritual or is it Big Bang made up theory? Everything came from an explosion. That's a great one. Okay, anyways. And we all came from monkeys. That's even better. Anyways, remember, life is very simple, but it's also very sacred. And if we follow a non-spirituality lifestyle, a lot of times life feels very stupid, okay? Very sad, okay? Filled with sorrow. And of course, don't forget, filled with sin. Okay, the spiritual mind looks into the world that we live and it says, do I want to do that? And if I do, cause and effect, the ripple effect. Is my actions going to better the actions of the realm, of the system, of myself? Remember, most people are greedy only because the scarcity is everywhere. The system breeds scarcity, so if it breeds scarcity, then what are you going to do? You're going to live in scarcity. And if you live in scarcity, that means, well, you can't live in love. Why? Because you're constantly trying to figure out how to make another ducat and or pick up another crumb. Remember, most people are controlled by just not activating their spirituality. Remember, you're here. Think of it as yourself as being a spiritual or a non-physical form having a stream, okay, life stream of physicality. Wow. So if that's the case, then your physical body is just like the car that I'm driving right now, right? And I'm the spirit driving this vehicle, which of course is my exterior body. Okay? If you look at a parable, my body is the car. My body is also my church. Is why? Because I understand that spiritual end of this whole sort of this diagram of trying to go ahead and explain what cannot be explained. This type of idea, remember, to do the spiritual work is definitely something that most people are looking into only when they get close to death. So the spiritual work is sometimes looked into when you're sick and you start to pray. And pray to who? Before you're an atheist. Okay? When you're, let's say someone told you you're going to die or you have to go to the hospital. Okay? So you tell me. Okay? Life is real simple again. Do you believe? Do you believe? Okay? And that's what most, not spirituality is, but most religions. Spirituality, you don't have to believe in anything. You don't have to believe in a personificational system. All you got to do is say, okay, there is something that's breathing me. I don't focus my eyes. I do push them around, but I do not focus them. No, I don't. I walk, but I really don't. It's because I dream myself. I dream myself to walk. I dream my hand to open up. That's spirituality, is to know that you are beyond this physical form, beyond it. And if you're beyond the physical form, that would mean that, well, it means you're ready to be able to maybe stop going to church. It's because you understand the spirituality of everything is because it's everywhere. You don't have to go to one place of worship. The whole place we live on is a temple, is a sanctuary. And that's the best part. Okay? Once you see the miracle, you see that everything is a beautiful thing. So, anyways, I'm in the busy parking lot here, waiting to get a parking spot. There we go. Way up there. And right now I'm, of course, knowing that, remember, the spiritual mind doesn't really work in the physical plane, okay? Not like you think. The spiritual mind is accessed when the mind is very, very not awake, but very relaxed. So, anyways, looks like I'm gonna see if I can squeeze in this hole here. Okay, looks like I did it. Whoops. Maybe not. There we go. So, anyways, going to the farmer's market here. Let me take off my piece off the camera here. There we go. So, again, one of the last things just wanted to say here is spirituality is beyond going to church. You don't have to go to a place of worship. If you want to, you can, because that, remember, that's a place of worship. Spirituality is looking into yourself. It's looking into the miracle here that I see everywhere in these plants right here. Okay? Those are the miracles. Those big trees over there, that big banyan tree, those are the miracles. The people that are just walking around, okay? They're just walking around. And forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And what's that? They're dreaming their machine to go forward. Remember, everybody's walking. Sort of weird. Look, check this guy out. Look, he's walking, she's walking, and they don't even know what they're doing. They're dreaming themselves to go forward like everybody else. That person's eating over there, and that's cool. And their body's actually processing all of this fuel. It's processing all this fuel. And they don't even know what's going on. Remember, the spiritual part of life is to be able to know that every part of your life is a miracle. Every part. So when you feel bad inside, okay, know that you do have some miracles going on right now inside yourself. And be humble to, really, whatever type of body and mind you have, just know that you are breathing and alive. And you're breathing sometimes, but you're being breathed all the time, just like right now. I'm just thinking about breathing, so maybe I can breathe. But the question is, what breathes me? And I forget. That's spirituality. Remember, self-realization is to know a lot of things are a miracle. Yes, it is. So when you clean up your body, you clean up your mind. That's the best part of this. The body is your church, and your church houses the two temples. I've said this many times. And in order to be able to become more spiritual, well, maybe all you got to do is just be nicer. To be, I don't know, more good. So you can be, good God. How about God is good? Good is God. Okay? Pretty simple. And evil is what? Put a D on front of that. Evil's the devil. So again, who are you working for? You working for evil, which of course add that D, now the devil? Or are you working for good, which is God? It's your choice, remember? The spiritual mind is curious. It wants to know if you see life as a miracle or you just see it as a nightmare. Remember, part of cleaning yourself up is to really realize, and you can say again with your real eyes, here with your real ears, okay, or not, but to just realize that you're the one in power of yourself, okay, until you get taken over by these demonic presences that are pretty much in everybody. That's what body fat is. It's a demonic presence. Okay, yes it is. You don't like it, do you? No, you don't. It's a demonic presence. And if it's a demonic presence, well, then what are you going to do about it? Remember, follow our videos that we have on parasites, is because you may want to go ahead and look into this demon to kick this thing out of your house, out of your church. Remember, spirituality is looking into yourself and loving yourself and taking care of yourself. Look, not putting a phone up next to your head and radiating the crap out of your head. That's not too smart, but then again, forgive them, for they do not know what? That they're doing themselves harm. Why would you put that microwave transmitter up to your temple? And that's the thing that runs as above, so below. Don't make sense, does it? No. Sounds like a lot of nonsense to me, okay, for someone to go ahead and actually do that to themselves. Remember, you're not even doing it to your church, your body. You're doing it to your temples. Okay, guys, so learn how to see the miracle in everything is because it is. The bird flying over there doesn't know it's flying. It just flew across there. It just says, I'm going there, and it does what it wants to, and not worrying about getting a ticket from the highway patrol. But then again, remember, nature is a brutal place. Brutal. Brutal. Remember, everything is eating each other alive. It's an extraction system. Everything we live on here is an extraction system. Everything, in order for it to live here, because nothing lives on free energy, everything needs to extract something to live. Okay? Plants extract water and minerals and light and turn them into something magical. What is it, right? What is a plant? Nobody knows. It's a being, though, that has its own specific DNA. And that plant will never turn into that tree, no matter how long evolution says so. And that plant will never have sex or babies with the plant next to it, because it just doesn't. Each one is individual. Okay? And unless we genetically splice it, well, then it isn't so in nature. Everything is intelligently designed, and nothing evolves into anything. All you got to do is open your eyes up. And if you saw that miracle, then you would see the miracle of life. Is because this place, this sanctuary that we live on, is truly a miracle. It's a realm. And in order for you to be able to really understand that, you must see this realm in every form and fashion. And then be humble and take care of things better. Remember, the conscious mind is a spiritual mind. The spiritual mind is a mind that sees that spirit runs this place. That's what spiritualism is. That's what it is. It's that this place is run by spirit. Remember, you're not breathing. Spirit breathes you. Yes, it does. This machine, remember, runs on just like the avatar, on the dreamer. Just like in the Matrix, the dreamer of the avatar. I dream my hand, and the avatar, the mind avatar, dreams this machine. That's spiritualism. That's to know something deeper than I'm just a body and I am the body and that's who I am when I die. Really. Remember, the animator, the dreamer of this machine is formless. Wow. But it actually is perfectly blended with my avatar, perfectly blended. And this is why I get a chance to not really second guess how I do this, is because it works so easy through my mind to move my fingers. I don't know how to do it, but the dreamer here knows how to do it. Okay, again, spiritualism is to look inside things that, of course, are mysterious. So keep your, not hopes up, but keep your chin up, okay? Hopes up means that, well, you're hoping. But keep your chin up means that's right. Okay? Stand up. Rise above, right? Become more human. And that's more spiritual. And that just means that everybody, of course, is being breathed by the same thing. So we can't say that there's different types of things here as far as being individuals, like, we're the master species, we are the, yeah, shut the hell up. Again, hell up. No, you're not. We're all being breathed by the same thing. We're all, as you could say, God's children, right? We're all being breathed by the Spirit, the Spirit's children, whether we like it or not. Okay, anyways, we'll see you in the next video. And the spiritual mind, remember, is something to be practiced. And it's very easy. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to go to school. Like I said, you don't even have to read a book. Just go out in nature and look at the intelligent design of everything. Go fishing, maybe, and catch a fish and look at that fish. And catch another one and notice that each one is part of the replicator tribe or clan. And they live in the ocean there, and they have millions of babies at a time because they're the replicators. They're the food for the world. Okay, or used to be before we polluted it. So if we were more spiritual, then we would know that this place is sacred and we're supposed to teach it as, treat it as so. Not supposed to poison Neptune's nest, which is the ocean. We're not supposed to poison the terrestrial plane of Gaia. Not supposed to cut down the trees of Sophia for nothing. Not supposed to kill the children of Sophia. That's the forest spirit. The children of the forest are what? Those are the animals. Those are the insects. Those are everything that lives and feeds in the forest and is protected by the forest and has provisions provided by the forest, because it's the provider too. Remember, the provider gives the provisions, and the trees and this order out of chaos, nature, gives protection to all of its children. Anyways, that's enough. Okay? Think deep. Remember, you're not just this physical shell. You are something more than that. As this spirit, remember, spiritual mind, as this spirit, the dreamer, leaves this machine, it can't animate it anymore. It can't speak it anymore, because you need a machine in this realm to push things around. It's a physical machine, but it's run by a formless entity. This is just a machine, guys. But the entity inside is different. Remember, it's the part of this self that has reasoning and logic. It's the part of the self that can look into the miracles. As a bird doesn't see a miracle, it never can. It's because we're supposed to see the miracle in everything, even a pineapple, even a pill bug. Okay, look at an ant. Look at it under a microscope. Look at a cricket under a microscope, or a spider. All these different species and phylums and classifications of all the different types of creatures on this intelligently designed place. Remember, if a spider was 3 feet big, he'd have you for lunch. Okay, remember, not only intelligently designed, but also sized just right. Okay, that's it. We'll see you next time. Aloha. And again, the spiritual mind sees that all things are a miracle, and all things are deeply complex and are not to be understood. You can't understand a plant, guys. You can't understand the seed, how the plant made. You may look at the seed to see how it grows, but you don't know how it got to be. Oh, the Big Bang Theory, how that flower came out to be purple and the other one's yellow, and the other one over there is shaped in a beautiful different arrangement. Okay? Wow. The different species of Sophia's branches, plants. Remember, Sophia's the forest. So anyways, enough, guys. Spiritualism is nothing more than looking into everything and seeing, not the beauty in everything, but seeing that everything came from something, not from nothing. Okay, that's it. 2733. Aloha.